Dear friend, today we will discuss some theorems on subgroups that gives the criteria for H when it will be subgroup. Thank you. Good morning, dear friends. In previous lecture, we have started unit subgroup. We also go through the definition. H is said to be subgroup of G if A star itself is a group, means it satisfies four properties of group: closure, associative, identity, and inverse. We also know H is a subgroup is denoted by H is a subgroup of G, that is denoted by like this. And we also go through some examples. 3Z is a subgroup of Z. In general, or we can say 5Z is also subgroup of Z. 10Z is also subgroup of 5Z. 5Z means all integers multiple of 5. 0, 5, 10, like this. And minus 5, minus 10, like that. Here, this you should note that minus 20, minus 10, 0, 10, 20, like this. 5Z means multiple of 5. 0, 5, 10, minus 5, minus 10, like that. And we also go through non-examples. Again, note that suppose G is a group, say it contains entries plus minus 1 and plus minus I, and binary operation as a multiplication. So we can take EH as a subgroup containing 1 and minus 1. There are 4 elements in G and there are 2 elements in H. EH is a subgroup of G because EH star, which because EH under multiplication is a group. Note that. Identity is 1 under multiplication. Inverse of minus 1 minus 1. Inverse of 1 is 1. Clearly, closure property, associativity, existence of identity, and inverse, all properties or all conditions are satisfied by H dot. Dot is used for multiplication. So this is also one of the good example. Again, if we discuss about second example, all these examples we have seen in last lecture. Again, in Z6, we know Z6 under addition modulo 6 is a group. In Z6 there are elements like 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar up to 5. So if we take this is as a subgroup, singleton 0 is always, this is also subgroup, then 0 bar, 2 bar, 4 bar is also subgroup under addition. So H1 and H2, note that are subgroup of G, where G is equal to Z6. All these are going through operation under addition. Okay. I hope you understand this example also. You can try to, there is a one good exercise to you. You can try to find out subgroup of Z10, Z12, Z15 like that, Z5, Z11, Z13, in general Z. So you can observe identity element E is always subgroup. Singleton identity element is always subgroup. That is called trivial subgroup. G is also subgroup of G because every subset G is a subset of G. G is a group. So that is G is also subgroup. That is called improper subgroup. If you discuss about ZP, there are only two subgroups. Singleton 0 is identity and ZP itself. We also go through the criteria about subgroup. This is very important theorem. If A and B belongs to H, AB inverse must be in H, then H is subgroup of H. Now next theorem we are going to see a non-empty subset H of a group G is subgroup of G, which H is a subset of G, is said to be subgroup if and only if satisfy following two conditions. What is first condition? First condition is closure property. You can take as a closure. Second is inverse property. If these two properties are satisfy closure and inverse, then also we can say H is a subgroup. One thing we should note that, and this is if and only if part, means H is a subgroup, then these two conditions satisfied. If these two conditions satisfied by H, then H must be subgroup of G. In short, converse is also true. So we have to prove both part. So part 1, given H is a subgroup of G and want I and I2. We have to show closure and inverse. And part 2, this is part 2. Part 2 given is 1 and 2. This closure and inverse property satisfied by non-empty set H. Then we have to prove H is a subgroup of G. So I hope you understand what is given, what is claimed. So let us discuss part 1. Here this is part 2. Part 1 is we are going H is a subgroup of G. So H is a subgroup, then is H is a group with respect to binary operation, which are already discussing G. So we by default we assume binary operation is multiplication. The theoretical part we already discussed. Whenever we discuss about binary operation, by default we can take as a multiplication. So H is a group. Since H is a group, it must satisfy four properties: closure, associative, existence of identity, and inverse. So it satisfies four properties. That's why out of four, first property is closure. This is closure property. And second is, this is fourth number property is inverse. So here we can take it satisfies closure and associate clearly, because yes satisfies four conditions or property. Okay. This is our first part. Second is, we have given these two conditions. Whenever we can talk about elements, any two element of H, it satisfies this closure and inverse property. So our job is to prove H is a subgroup. Means we have given closure and inverse property. And we, from theorem 1, we just discussed that if H is a subgroup, you can only it satisfies AB inverse belongs to H for all A and B belong to H. This theorem we already discussed. So try to use how we can utilize. So this is because of 2, its inverse property. And take the product because it is by 1 means it is closure property. We have given. Yes, satisfied. Element in H satisfy these two conditions, closure and inverse. So we utilize first inverse, then apply closure. So we got guaranteed that AB inverse belongs to H. And we know the above theorem, if AB inverse belongs to H, then H must be subgroup. In this way we prove this theorem 2.3. Next example is, show that NZ is a subgroup of Z plus for all n belongs to N. So how we have to prove? We have to use the theorem 1, means if A and B belongs to H, then AB inverse belongs to H. Here note that we know AB belongs to H implies AB inverse. This is nothing but the under, this is by default multiplication, means here addition is there. Binary operation with respect to addition. Additive inverse of B inverse means here minus B. That means A minus B must belong to H. So to show the H is a subgroup, we have to show A minus B belongs to H. Here H is equal to NZ, multiple of all integers, multiple of n, integers which are multiple of n. So take any two elements from H means NZ. All these two elements are in the form of NR and NT for some R and T. So consider AB inverse, means here A plus minus B. Just substitute the value of A is NR, because in H all elements are having this form, multiple of n into some integer, means n into R. Minus B is minus n into T, like this. Taking n outside, R minus T, n into R minus T. This is also integer. This is also integer. RNT. Subtraction of two integers is again integer. So EV inverse we succeed to express as a n into some integer. So it must be belong to n z. Means we succeed to show here EV inverse belongs to n z. That's why n z is a subgroup of z under addition. So in this way we have to prove. Let us go. So theorem, let H be a non-empty subset of finite group C star, so that H is a subgroup of G if and only if AB belongs to S, here no need to write again if AB belongs to S, then A star B belongs to H. Means if G is a finite group, then criteria to be H should be subgroup is that it satisfies only closure property. So it may not here write that. First of all, we know the definition of H is a subgroup. See, if H itself is a group, which is satisfies four properties: closure, associative, identity, and inverse. So out of these four properties, if only one property is satisfied by H, then also H is a subgroup, because there is a small difference between previous two theorems and this theorem. In previous theorem, there is no restriction on G, is it finite or infinite. But if we give the restriction on G, it is finite, then only criteria, only one criteria or only one condition for H is a subgroup is that closure property. This is called closure. So let us prove. So again here if and only part. So part 1, G1 is H subgroup of G, and we want if AB belongs to H implies A star B belongs to H. So proof is simple. Since H is a subgroup of G, so H satisfies four conditions. What this is written as four conditions. Which are closure, associativity, identity, and inverse. So if H is a subgroup, then it must satisfy four properties. Then first property will be satisfied by G. So that implies H satisfies element in H especially you can see closure property. So this implies AB belong to H, then A star B belongs to H clearly because A satisfies 4 properties. So out of 4, first property must be satisfied. So one first property is this. So in this way we can prove proof is not completed. Converse part is remaining. Converse part is if we have given such an information about H and H is a subset of G and G is a finite group, then you have to show H is a subgroup of G. How you have to show? So part 2. Again, if you observe G1 is AB belongs to H implies A star B belongs to H. Again, we have given G is a finite, means order of G is finite, A is an infinity, some number. Also, we have given H is a subset of G, and that is non-empty set. Right. What we have to prove? H is satisfies, that means H is a subgroup of G. Yes, you can take as a star as a binary operation also, sorry, multiplication also. So how to prove? So from 1, clearly it satisfies closure property. Okay, from 1 yes satisfies closure property. So it is enough to prove inverse property. Why only inverse? Just observe the theorem. If two properties satisfy by H at A star B and A inverse belongs to H, implies H is a subgroup of G. So closure already we have given the highlight, that is G1 you can say 1 is 0. So what is our target? Our target is to show A inverse must be in H. How we can show? So for this we use since order of G is finite, so suppose order of G is equal to n is finite, and A H is subset of G, H contain A, So if A is belongs to H, so there exists M, some positive integer belongs to Z. You can see Z plus. Such that A raised to M equal to E. If it is an addition, A raised to M means A plus A plus A. M times means EMA is equal to E. Where 1 is less than N, less than order of G. That is equal to N. This is called as a 1, this is as a 2, this is as a 3, this is as a 4. So now, if or we have given H is non-empty set, this H contain E element. So now E belongs to H. We are having some order. By closure property, A sphere means A star A belongs to H. If A square equal to E, then it is U. But if A square is not equal to E, again A into A square belongs to H, implies A cube belongs to H. In general, by closure property, this is by closure. E raised to M belongs to H. This is in general. How it looks like, M is the order of E such that E raised to M is equal to E. So here we already discussed from 3. E raised to M, that is nothing but the E. So this implies E is equal to E raised to M, and E raised to M belongs to H, implies E belongs to H. So E is equal to E raised to M. E raised to M can be split as a A into E raised to M minus 1 multiplication. So E is equal to A into E raised to M minus 1. This product of A and B is E. This A is inverse of B, or B is inverse of. This implies A inverse is equal to A raised to M minus 1. So now we have to make the cases. If M is equal to 1, then that implies A raised to 1 minus 1, that is A raised to 0 is equal to E. A raised to M minus, value of A raised to M minus will be E. E always belongs to H. Means inverse is also in H. If second case is if M not equal to 1, if value of M is greater than 1, but how much it is? It is maximum order of G. Then A raised to M minus 1, since it belongs to H, this implies A inverse is equal to A raised to M minus 1 belongs to H. That means A inverse belongs to H. So in this way, it satisfies H satisfies closure property in both cases. For inverse property, for both cases of M equal to 1 also and M greater than 1 also. So here satisfy closure property. This is said this is 1A, we can say 1A and 1B. So from 1A and 1B we get A satisfy both closure property and inverse property. Satisfies closure and inverse property. So this implies by the theorem H is a subgroup of. Thanks for listening patiently. Next time we will discuss more about whether intersection of which subgroup is subgroup or not, union of two subgroup is subgroup or not. Thanks for listening patiently.